very special guest today with us, Alex Bethge. Later more on Alex. First, let me introduce our technical department, who's in Newcastle, UK. Ollie Townsend is hitting all the switches and faders and I don't know what. My name is Carlo Van Nistelrooy and I'm in the Netherlands. And our guest of tonight is Alex Bethge, based in Stuttgart, if I'm not mistaken, Alex. Gravel rider, professionally involved in the cycling world, with internet stores and lots of stuff. We'll tell a little bit more about that later. And he's also a guy who knows the gravel scene in Germany quite well. So we will talk about that. And Votec Gravel Fondo, a well-known event, which is pitifully postponed this year. We'll talk about that also. This is a half hour, 40 minutes on gravelish topics. So everybody, welcome to the live stream of tonight. If you have feedback, have things to ask to Alex, just, we're on Facebook, so just drop us a line or send us an email afterwards. Or if you have guests that you think would be interesting to have on the list. But now the guest of today, it's you're an experienced cyclist. That's something that we can say, Alex. Started off in mountain biking and joined a semi-professional team. Was also in the race bike. You did some crit racing, and you're also over the last years involved in gravel riding through CX, I think. But we'll discuss that a little further. Which was also interesting is that you participated in the Atlas Mountain Race, something that's on a bucket list for plenty of people, I'm sure. So we'll dive into that later. You're from the north of Germany, went south from Hamburg to Stuttgart, and you're now in Baden-Württemberg, if my pronunciation is correct.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, we could do it in German, but I think that most of our viewers will prefer the English language. You've been in the domain of cycling and also professionally involved for a number of years, and you started up with Votec Gravel Fondo, which is one of the first gravel events, I believe, outside of the UK. So you're one of the pioneers on the event sector. We'll dive into all kinds of gravel subjects a little later. But first, we want to get to know you a little bit better. First question always is, what's the drink at hand, Alex? What are we drinking?
Thanks, Carlo, for the nice introduction. And I prepared myself some pale ale, some hoppy fresh drink for this evening. It's been pretty hot the last days, and I like a refreshing drink like pale ale for sure. Cheers.
Okay, well, that's a great idea. I made the biggest error of the night is that I poured myself a cup of coffee. By the way, horrible coffee, but this because it's from an ultimate. But that's a better idea. A pale ale always works for me. What's the last song on your playlist on Spotify or Deezer or whatever you'll use? What were you listening to?
I listened to King Cruel. I think it's a singer-songwriter, I don't know, from the UK. Has a very distinctive voice. I think the song was Easy. I think I needed the last couple of days to relax myself, and I think that was the last song I listened this morning.
King Cruel. Okay, and what books on the shelf for reading?
Oh, recently I've been so busy with working and stuff, but next week I will be on vacation, and hopefully we'll have some time to read some books. So nothing's particular right now at the moment.
Okay, so in your vacation you have plenty of time to read up. We always have a viewers participation on your gravel bike. We're very curious on what will whether it will be used or not, because everybody probably knows who's watching us that dropper posts are mainly used in mountain biking. But we're interested in what you use and what you don't use Do you use a dropper post, yes or no? If you, sorry, if you vote the heart for the yes and the thumbs down for no. Thumbs down for no. We always have like a cycling profile, a question list. So I will also give you the questions that are on that list. It's just to get to know the cyclist a little bit better. What do you prefer, gravel riding, bike packing, or gravel racing?
I prefer gravel riding because it gives me the most freedom on the bike I can have. So just grab my bike, head out into the woods, and have a good time, and not to think about anything. Just ride my track, and so that's what I like most, definitely.
So the sense of freedom is important for you, and that's something you'll find in gravel riding.
Yeah, definitely. I see a picture coming up. So the racing days I left behind. So I've been racing, a couple of years and stopped that. I think around about 2005, and so been there. So that's base. I think that should be 1999, something around that. So quite some time ago. And I did basically I did mountain bike cross country racing, and then also some crit racing for preparation and training. And at the end of my career, I focus more than on road and cyclocross. Yeah.
We have several pictures of you, and I think they're throughout your whole cycling career. So you started off in mountain biking, but first let me get back to the gravel riding. Do you prefer riding alone or with friends? What is your, because you say the sense of freedom is important to me. Do you enjoy that more alone or with a bunch of friends?
Most of the time I ride by myself, but that's due to the fact that I have to check my limited time schedule when it's possible to jump into the saddle. So connecting with friends is not so easy. But besides that, I enjoy also rides with friends and good people. So it's always how things develop and how I can get things together. But most of the time I ride by myself.
Okay, so your favorite bike at the moment is because you've been mountain biking, CX riding, crit racing, etc. Is the gravel bike for sure?
Yeah, absolutely. So I love to own a lot of different bikes, but the bike I grab, the most time. Everything I can ride everywhere where I want, and I don't have to know where I want to go when I leave my door. I can decide on route, and so that's basically the thing I love about the gravel bike. So that's the weapon of choice right now.
Okay, excellent. Let's continue with the pictures that we have lined up for you. We already saw the image of you on a podium, which I think happened more often because you ended up being a semi-professional rider. Maybe you can explain a little bit more about the whole process when you started riding in a semi-pro team.
Yeah. Racing got more and more, and I grew a better rider, and then had the chance to get into the Stevens Jantex team. I think that was 1998. That was one of the first professional mountain bike teams in Germany, and we've been a quite big team, and I had the chance to grow even better during that time. Was racing for 2 years also in the national team cross country. And from there things developed into a more professional direction.
Okay, and maybe we can have a little bit the next images, because I know that there are some pictures available. Oh, this is you on on a CX, probably.
Yeah. So at the end of my career, sounds funny, but I got more into cyclocross. That was or it's still one of my favorite cycling disciplines, because it's very fast, dynamic. The races are short with 1 hour, and it's not all about being the toughest rider or the strongest rider. You need also good handling on the bike, good technique. I enjoyed always riding cyclocross for sure, and I think I've been state champion twice, and that's always good fun during winter time, definitely.
And cyclocross, the step from cyclocross to gravel riding is not a big one, is it? Is it also? Is it that step that you have made, with riding the gravel or entering the gravel scene, or how did that come about?
Yeah, I think that was basically because I always have been interested in cyclocross for a long time, and started then also to take the cyclocross bike out during summer, and just ride it over the fields. Basically, what is gravel today? And I always felt deeply connected to that type of riding. So, and also that kind of bikes, because you've got the handling of a road bike, but you can go nearly everywhere. And so I was pretty pleased that that the market reacted, and gravel bikes came to life, because that's just the right tool.
We look at the picture of you on a race bike, probably in a training camp or something.
Yeah. So the classic Mallorca training camp every year. That was also, I think nearly every professional cyclist knows that. And during that time, I did also a lot of road racing. That was always a good addition to mountain bike riding for sure. And Mallorca is always a nice place for riding. Yeah, that's also a picture where I stepped out of the team, and then there was the Deutschland tour. I think that was 2003 or so, where I raced for the Fit for Fun magazine. And that was also a nice stage race through Germany, which we did. And try to do a lot of disciplines on the bike. So riding cross, riding mountain bike, riding road, and so on. And every different type has made a lot of fun for sure.
But you were probably starting off with this is actually the gravel
Fondo last year, and that's basically Paul, you all know, also chasing me during the Gravel Fondo last year. That was really a nice time. We gathered a lot of interesting and nice people. I personally got to know a lot of new people, also Paul, and we had a good time during that weekend. And
you can now also see why your name on socials is Gravel Jesus, right?
Yeah. I grew some hair, and the Gravel Jesus came to life also during the Gravel Fondo last year, because everyone was laughing about my long waving hair. And I said, okay, why not Gravel Jesus? And I will spread some gravel love everywhere. And so people responded pretty positive on that, and I liked the name, and I made it to my topic. So we started also my social media presence back again, and I thought, okay, that's a perfect outlet for my cycling stories. And
so you're practicing the gravel, you're preaching the gravel.
Yeah, I do. So I've got a lot of friends asking me, okay, I want to get into cycling. I want to get myself a bike. What kind of bike should I buy? And I think the best thing to start and to get into cycling is basically a gravel bike, because you can decide which style you want to ride, and you've got so many opportunities. So
well, this is always an in-between question that I tend to ask in the Gravel Union Talk series is, what do you consider gravel riding? Because the definition is feel about what's gravel riding in your sense.
I think gravel riding is no rules. So it doesn't matter if you've got the newest bike or not. It doesn't matter if you wear a lycra or just shorts and a t-shirt. It doesn't matter if you are racing or if you are just going for bike touring on the gravel bike. So I think that's pretty inclusive, and there are no borders. So I think that's basically my personal definition of that type of riding.
Yeah, the openness of the community is important. The community itself is important. Letting people decide what they feel they can do, right?
Yeah, sure. And as you've seen in the pictures, I grew up in the classic way of how cyclists are developed and trained, and what kind of values you get taught. And so that was very strict. So okay, wear black shorts, white socks, and your kit has to be tidy and stuff like that. And there are certain rules, especially in road cycling. And so for me, it's quite refreshing that all those things don't matter in gravel, and you can do what you want. And so that's pretty nice and refreshing to see that those old rules are get cracked up.
It's and I understand, because road racing has its codes even, and the advantage of gravel riding is that it's so new that we can, the inclusive thinking is really, I think, the foundation of gravel riding, and that's a nice thing to see. Well, what we noticed is that I talked a little bit earlier. Germany was at the forefront of the developing of gravel riding. Many people think UK was after the US, obviously, was the first, and I think they were. But you were pretty. I think Gravel Fondo is in its a year
anniversary this year. So Gravel Fondo established 2016. Mm-hmm. Basically, the brainchild of my colleague Stefan Geis, who got the idea to set this up. Background is that we launched a gravel bike 2016 with Rotec Bikes, our brand, which we are covering in internet stores. Mm-hmm. And 2016, nobody knew what is gravel, and is it just a trend from the US, or what is it? And Stefan decided then, okay, we have to tell the people and have to show as one of the first gravel events in Germany, or in Europe, I would say.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big success and a big bang when that came on the map. And and then we developed things from then. So the last 2 years I'm involved into the Gravel Fondo and try to develop this further, and bring more Gravel Fondos to life. So and it's pretty nice to see how things developed and how the whole gravel scene has evolved over the years. Yeah.
Maybe you can tell a little bit more about because I know that the gravel culture in Germany is pretty big. What are the main areas? How are things developing in Germany? Because I think that's an interesting to see how because you're in the south. Is that the region? Are there more regions?
Yeah, I think basically all around bigger cities you can see groups and crews gathering together, organizing some rides. Especially Berlin has a strong scene with a lot of riders from the Gruppetto Berlin, for example. Very nice guys. Or in the Ruhrpott area, our friends from Good Times Roll, which are doing a lot of stuff, also organizing gravel rides. And and you can see also in the Cologne area a lot of riders. So I think that's developing steadily, and people try to organize themselves and to organize some rides. And the scene is growing, and you can see a lot of people getting into it. Best example, last Tuesday we had a dirt crit here in the area of Stuttgart, and there were, I think, 40 people racing, and people I didn't even see before. So it attracts more and more people, and that's a nice thing to see how things develop in that direction.
If I was to visit Germany, or what region should I visit? What are the most interesting gravel ride regions or areas where you should go to?
Yeah, for sure. Here in Baden-Württemberg, you can find a lot of nice highlights. So the Black Forest is pretty nice to ride. Or when you go into the direction Rheinland-Pfalz, the Palatinate Forest, where we had the gravel fondo last year, is very beautiful, as you can see also in the picture. And so also the regions further down south, when you get to the Alps. There are a lot of possibilities to ride here, especially in southern Germany.
Yeah, it's a huge country, so there it's a lot of nature there. What is also very interesting, that you also gravel race, and you entered the Atlas Mountain race. Maybe, tell us about your experience, because first off, what is the Atlas Mountain race, and later on, what did you experience there?
Yeah, the Atlas Mountain Race is a self-supported bikepacking race through the Atlas Mountains in Morocco. And that was also my first attempt into ultra cycling. That was a very, very big experience I made on the bike. So a very tough and demanding route, which I rode together with my friend Mark. We did this as a team. Beautiful landscapes, great hospitality of the people, and also good camaraderie among the riders. So I met also a lot of nice people, and a really great experience, but also very tough and demanding for the body. So I'm glad we made it, and we did pretty well for the first time.
How many kilometers is it?
It's roughly 1,100 kilometers and 20,000 meters to climb. So we were going very slow, very, very slow with our heavy bikes, and that was also something I had to learn, because I was just thinking of bike racing and bike races, and you've got a completely different speed. You can't compare it to a classic bike race. So it's the cycling side is just one part of the game. So that was also new for me. So the mental part is very important. Then also, how much sleep do you need? How fast you can recover, and all those stuff. How fast you can push your bike and how fast you can walk. So a big bunch of new experiences which I made, and
but do you think it was a one-time experience, or now you get to learn and now you want to go have more races in this style?
People talk about type 2 fun. I think that's true. and you forget a lot of things, especially you forget pretty fast about pain. So yeah, it could be that I do something like that again. I'm not quite sure about the Atlas Mountain Race, if I would do that a second time. If yes, I would definitely choose a mountain bike for that. But I would like to cover more long distances if I get the chance to.
And how long did it take you and your friend Mark to finish?
We managed to finish just short under 6 days. So we were riding 5 days, 23 hours and 45 minutes. So we closed the race just short before 6 days. So
okay, and I don't want to diminish your experience or the way that 6 days. I don't think that I will manage it. But the winner, how many days did he or she take?
Sofian was, I think, roughly short over 3 days. So that was incredible. I think he just slept 2 to 3 hours or so in total. And we had, I think, one day where we slept 8 hours. So yeah, we took things a little bit slower.
Okay.
But that's an incredible effort, and to see what a human body is able to do. And but I think it was pretty dangerous. So riding in that kind of terrain during the night and dark, and being not so fit also mentally. And then I think that's, so we decided when we are getting very tired that we had a rest. Otherwise the risk for having serious injuries would have been too high.
Yeah, it's you have to get back to work again afterwards. We're going to talk about Votec Gravel Fondo, which is a completely different experience later on. First, I want to remind the audience that we have the big debate question. Do you use a dropper post, yes or no? So please get back to us on that. We're curious how many people are using a dropper post. Now, Alex, we move on to your professional career, because you already mentioned Votec Gravel Fondo is organized because Votec was introduced, or a gravel bike was introduced to the market, and you're also involved in internet stores. Please explain a little bit more about what do you do in your regular job?
Yeah, I work as a brand manager for internet stores. Internet stores is one of the biggest e-commerce web shops for bicycle equipment and outdoor stuff. And within these shops, we have a lot of own bicycle brands. And basically, my job is to care about those brands in terms of biking, and do all the marketing stuff, especially for Votec. And my other topic is the Gravel Fondo, developing the Gravel Fondo, and building this also as an own brand, basically.
Okay. And because Votec, the introduction of Votec gravel bike to the market was also the idea of your friend Stefan, I think his name is, to start Votec Gravel Fondo. I think we lost Alex for a sec there, so I'll wait a bit. I think we have a bad connection here and there. So
yeah, now it's better. I think I had problems with my battery was pretty low.
Okay.
So I hope the sound is still fine and okay.
Yeah, it is, and so the people at home know that it really actually is live. So we're in a live stream here. Gravel Fondo, Votec Gravel Fondo. So your job and hobby are a little bit more or less combined into your job and also the organizing of the event. Tell us a little bit more about Votec Gravel Fondo. What is the experience what people can have if they not this year because it's postponed to next year, but what is the event like?
Yeah, it's basically it's a social event. So bringing people together, having a good time. Yeah, I think you can see the video right now to give you a little bit of a feeling how it is. So yeah, basically it's to bring people together for a weekend, having a good time, having good meals, good talks, good riding, and also to challenge yourself a little bit. Yeah, in between we play some Strava segments for those who want to tackle themselves. But that's up to everyone, him or herself. And yeah, we want to create a nice atmosphere, so that's the most important thing for us, that everyone has a good time, a good experience. So we put a lot of effort into the small details. Look that we have good regional food, for example, a nice route, a nice scenic route. The last years, or in the beginning years, we've been in the Black Forest, tackled the Black Forest in all directions, and then we decided, okay, we will move farther up north, and been in the Palatinate Forest last year, which has also been a pretty nice experience for everyone. And we found the perfect location to set up also a campground, which was also new for us, but created a pretty nice festival atmosphere. We had some speakers also in the evening program. We had John Woodruff speaking about the Silk Road Mountain Race, and Thorsten Frank, who is an experienced ultra endurance racer, who told us some stories about the Transcontinental Race. So we tried to put up also a nice program, yeah, we got a couple of nice ideas up our sleeves. Unfortunately, we had to cancel the event this year due to Corona. And I think that wouldn't have made any sense to set up an event where everyone has to wear a mask and we have to keep distance in the evening. So this nice cozy atmosphere comes when you sit around the campfire, have a beer, and tell yourself the stories about the ride from the day. And I think it wouldn't have been possible to create this atmosphere this year. So,
yeah, we see it throughout Europe. I mean, this is the COVID-19 year, obviously. So of all the Gravel Union partner events, I think Paroma is still on, Bohemian Border Bash is still on, and Gravel Fest is still on. But we originally planned 6 or 7 partner events. So that's something that we have to deal with this year. But you postpone it until next year. When it's going to be on the calendar for next year then?
That will be the first weekend of July next year. I think that's the second, or correct me, it should be the 2nd or so of July. I think it's the first weekend in July. But we have been thinking of what we can do this year. And everyone has been very sad that we had to cancel the event. So we decided to do following. So on the 29th of August, the original date of the Gravel Fondo this year, we will host the Gravel Fondo weekend, or virtual weekend, I would say. The Gravel Fondo organizers team and Julien Riganti, better known as Mr. 8000 Watt, will come with us on the track. So we will ride together the track from last year, and Julien will be our host, keep up a broadcast during the day where we ride together, and how we prepare the Komoot collection with all the routes from the last years. But everyone should be free to ride those routes or their own routes, and just to ride in the spirit of the Gravel Fondo during that weekend. And besides that, everyone should be free to take some nice pictures and tag Gravel Fondo Instagram account, and we will raffle some prizes for the best pictures from the weekend. And so we try to keep the spirit alive during that weekend.
Well, that's a great idea. I'm sure that and Ollie is listening along in Newcastle. So if you provide that info also to Ollie, I'm sure that we'll have an article on it on gravelunion.cc. But in a normal year, Alex, how many participants do you have? Because you're pretty big but not huge.
Yeah, so we try to keep this nice atmosphere, which I was talking about. So that's very important for us. So we set a limit at 300 people, so that we still can handle this group pretty well and still can offer a good service, good food, and so don't get into trouble also with local authorities and stuff. So and to keep a good atmosphere. So the Gravel Fondo shouldn't be a huge mass event. So what we try is to expand the number of events so that everyone has the chance to ride the Gravel Fondo. And
but where can we? Well, probably next year. Where can we find more Voter Gravel Fondo events in other areas of Germany or throughout Europe?
So the plan is that the cancelled event from this year is postponed then to July next year. So that will be or it will take place at also the location of last year in the Palatinate Forest. So that is said, and we are just planning a Gravel Fondo also in France, in the area of Lyon. So with our friends from Pro Bike Shop. Pro Bike Shop is also a part of the Internet Stores group. So we will team up with them and we'll host a French edition of the Gravel Fondo. And then 2 years ago we had also the smaller Gravel Fondo rides. That was basically just a one-day event. We had these planned also for this year, but had to cancel them as well due to Corona. So in every bigger city, Hamburg, Berlin, Stuttgart, and in the Ruhrpott area, we had set up those Gravel Fondo rides. So the idea behind those rides is just to bring the spirit and the flavor of the Gravel Fondo dense down into a smaller version and take it to the doorstep of the people, so everyone has a chance to take part.
So people can experience more than just the regular, let's call it the regular edition. I'm looking at pictures and I see that my I think it's there I am back again, but maybe the blue screen is a better thing to look at than my face, but that's aside. Once more, we have the Gravel Union big debate question. Let me ask just one thing about the Gravel Fondo, Alex. Where do your participants come from? Are those mainly German, or from the Europe, or maybe even from the States? I don't know. We're looking at the frozen image. I'm afraid. Probably Alex is listening in a little, which gives me the opportunity to have the results in of the big debate question. The big debate question was about drop a post, and the results are final. 80% of the viewers says no, we don't use any drop a post, and 20%, which is remarkably high as far as I'm concerned, is using a dropper post on the gravel bike. So that's the feedback from our audience. I see that the feedback of Alex is a little fixed. I don't think we have Alex with us, at least not on the live stream. but we were rounding up things as it was anyway. So the results are in. Alex, I'm afraid you don't have the chance to have something corrected that you mentioned in the live stream of today, or maybe you'd like something to add. Well, if you have, just drop us a line and we'll have it in our next newsletter. People, if you're not a free member to the Gravel Union, please go online to gravelunion.cc and get your free membership. Then I think it is time to say goodbye to everybody and thank Alex as our guest of today. He's looking at us quite seriously now, but probably trying to get back with us with the internet connection. We have some internet connection troubles tonight. Thank you very, very much, Alex, and the whole Votec Gravel Fondo team. We're very glad that Votec Gravel Fondo is part of our partner events of Gravel Union. We have a whole series of events. Thank you for viewing us and watching the live stream. I hope to see you back next month. We don't have a guest yet. We're working on that, but I'm sure we get somebody very, very interesting. Check out the website, check out our social media, and check us out next month for Gravel Union Talks. So thank you very, very much. Have a good day or evening. If you're watching this later, a good day to you. And see you next time around at the Gravel Union Talks. Bye-bye. Bye.